Hello students, we are going to start with the second part, session 2 of soils of India. In this particular subunit, we will be basically dealing with what is soil erosion, the types of soil erosion, and what are the methods through which we can conserve the soil. So let us begin first with what is soil erosion. The removal of nutrients in the top layer of soil by wind, water and human activities is called as soil erosion. It is very important, children, to mention the removal of nutrients. That is why it has been highlighted in the PPT. Please pay specific attention to this. It is removal of nutrients. So whatever is the fertile layer, when that layer is removed from the soil, it is called as soil erosion. Now you have soil erosion by water, and under soil erosion by water you have sheet erosion, gully erosion and rill erosion. Sheet erosion, as the name itself says, it occurs in sheet or it occurs in straight layers. So it is basically removal of only the first soil, the top soil, which is referred as sheet erosion. This kind of erosion basically occurs on gentle slope. Alright, the next one is rill erosion. As you can see in the image that is given on the right hand side, when sheet erosion continues for a longer period of time, you have small finger like projections or small finger like things that appear on the land, which is called as your gully erosion. The next kind of erosion is the shore erosion. The water of the sea causes damage to the soil along the coast. Now the waves continuously dash against the coast, and they break down bigger pieces of rocks into finer and smaller particles. The next one is stream erosion. Now streams and rivers can change their course by cutting one bank, okay, and it will deposit the silt on another bank. Okay, now specially this is very prominent, and this accelerates during the time of floods. All right, and this basically happens in the Indo-Gangetic plain, where you have Ganga and its tributaries. All right, the next one is leaching. Now what happens is, generally after harvesting, the farmers leave the soil bare for some time. So this is basically to repair the soil on its own. At that point of time, if heavy rainfall takes place, then the nutrients which are present in the soil will either percolate down, leaving the topsoil infertile, or it will get washed away with the rainwater, again making the soil infertile. The next reason is the human activities. So basically it is deforestation or removal of vegetative cover for whatever reasons. It can be urbanization, it can be commercialization, or to basically build buildings, or to make ground for agricultural purposes. So what happens when deforestation occurs on a large scale? It makes the soil very loose, and the soil becomes very prone to erosion. Alright, the next one is grazing of domestic animals. So if the animals keep on grazing continuously on the same patch of land, again the same thing happens. The soil becomes loose and it becomes more prone to erosion. The next agent of erosion here is wind. Now wind work, as you all know, is very prominent in semi-arid and arid regions. Now this basically happens because the soil is sandy soil. The soil itself is very loose. Secondly, there is no vegetative cover. There are no plants or trees which hold the soil firmly to the ground. So the soil is very loose, and hence it is more prone to wind erosion. Alright. Now, what are the causes of soil erosion? The first and the foremost cause of soil erosion is rise in the population. So if there is a rapid increase or rise in the population, what happens? Deforestation happens on a large scale, because you need to build more houses. Okay, so to need more houses, obviously you need to cut down the forest cover or the vegetative cover. The second here is the nature of rainfall. So if during the monsoon months that is from June to September, if the rainfall is very very heavy, continuous for a longer duration, it leads to floods. Okay, the remaining months are very dry, like as it is the case with our country. We get very heavy rainfall from June to September, but the winter months are all very very dry, all right, which affects the soil to a certain extent. Then overgrazing, as I told you, a number of animals grazing on the same patch of land continuously for months and for years will make the soil very very loose, and then that soil will be carried away either by wind or by water. The next is bad farming techniques. Now this basically means that the farmers they till their fields in very traditional ways. Now the farmers have got a very small size of land holdings, that is the piece of land available to them is very small in size, and hence they have to use traditional methods. Okay, so there's absence of methods like terrace farming or contour cultivation or crop rotation, so this makes the soil more prone to erosion. Then is the relief features, the topography of our country. If you look at the northern part of our country, the northwestern part, the northern part of country, which has got shivaliks, which is more of a hilly region, that region is more prone to soil erosion because it has got steep slopes and it experiences very heavy rainfall. This kind of a topography is more prone to washing away the soil due to steep slopes. The next reason is deforestation. Now forests are being cut down, they are being destroyed so that more land is available for cultivation purposes. So cutting of these trees again makes the soil more prone to erosion. Now let us see what are the prevention methods. How can we prevent soil erosion from taking place? The first and the foremost method is terrace farming. Now this is a very nice method, especially on hilly areas. So the terrace will act as a kind of an embankment and will not allow the soil from getting washed away. The second one is shelter belts. Now this is a very good method, especially to check wind erosion. So you have trees which are planted in straight rows, several rows, so that they act as a wind break. So the velocity of the wind is reduced to a very great extent due to shelter belts. The next one is contour plowing. Now plowing along the contours, these are naturally occurring contours. Okay, now this prevents the soil from being washed away and it acts as an embankment. The last one here is strip cropping. Now in strip cropping, crops are grown on alternate strips. Okay, so one row of crops, then a patch of land is left, then you have another strip of crops. This is again basically done to reduce the impact of wind. Now let us see what are the methods to reduce water erosion. The first one is plugging of gullies. So the gullies which are made due to water erosion are filled or being plugged in by silt. So this is basically to ensure that during the heavy rains these gullies do not become further deep. Okay, the next one is planting of trees. Now planting of trees basically happen around the edge of the fields or the steep slopes. This is again done to prevent soil erosion. Now not only soil erosion is prevented by this method, but also the capacity of the soil to absorb water, to retain water will also increase. Then we have construction of dams. Now dams generally are constructed in the upper course of the river. Why is it so? Because in the upper course the velocity of the river, the speed of the river is very very high, and so the soil there becomes prone to erosion. So by construction of dams it can be reduced to a certain extent. Now why is soil conservation very very important? Okay, so first, what is soil conservation? Soil conservation is basically prevention of soil loss from erosion or prevention of reduced fertility of soil that occurs due to acidification or salinization or any kind of soil contamination. Now why do you think is soil conservation very very important? Because India is an agrarian economy. More than 70% of the people here rely on agriculture or agriculture related activities. So it is very important that we conserve the soil. Now if we do not conserve the soil, what are going to be the adverse effects of the soil? Now there's going to be loss of fertile topsoil. all right. Gradually what will happen, the agricultural productivity will be affected. Then you will have lowering of the underground water table. Okay, the vegetation, the crops and all will dry up. Okay, and the frequency of droughts will then increase. The frequency of droughts and floods will increase. Silting of rivers, silting of canals will take place. Landslides will occur on a larger scale, and overall if you see, it will have an adverse effect on the economic prosperity of the country. So it is very important that we conserve the soil.